Welcome to the Soul Keys boss fight against the Reaper. We have our hero Mist versus the Reaper.
We fight.
So last time, Mist fought their way through demons and monsters in the abyss of the Reaper's domain. His goal, to negotiate with the Reaper. Now, the negotiation could be with sword or by words. He is there to retrieve the souls of fallen Lightbringers. Mist, using only their wits, cunning, and blades, decides to step through the portal into the Reaper's domain. And the Reaper stands there ready.
You have come to claim the Lightbringers. These souls belong to me.
Mist stands ready, and we will set up the boss mode. The setup for the boss mode is as such. As soon as a hero enters the time chamber, place all heroes in the boss fight starting zone, which is indicated here. We've placed the darkness track with the Reaper's dashboard. There you'll have all the information about what the Reaper can do. The Reaper has 2 dice for every action, but the action is starred. It is indicated of how many actions the Reaper gets by their dark rage down the bottom. The Reaper has X actions each activation. Right now it is 1. The Reaper has 25 health per hero, but because we're playing solo mode, it counts for 2 heroes. So he is on 50 health.
I will stronger.
Heroes recover all health and mana to their maximum values. So maximum value of health is 5. Because we're level 4 plus 2, that is 7. And their maximum mana is 4 plus 1 because they are level 4, which means they have got 5 mana. Then place 2 time markers on each hourglass zone, indicated here. 1, 2. 1, 2 in the corners of the map. 2 hourglass tokens. A hero standing in the hourglass zone may spend 1 action to add 1 time token to the zone. The Reaper's abilities remove time tokens. If the time token must be removed but there are no tokens left in the indicated hourglass, the quest ends in defeat. If the heroes kill the Reaper, the quest ends in victory.
Your journey ends.
The boss mode works a bit differently in Massive Darkness. After each hero activation, the boss will go. But because there's only 1 player, it'll be after all my activations, then the boss will go. In a game with more heroes, the boss would activate in between each hero's turn. Then perform a level up phase and immediately start a new hero phase. When they last left the dungeon, they had 18 XP, and they're at level 4. They'll perform a level up phase, which is 18 to get, so exactly, which is great. So level up to level 5, spend the 18 XP. We will get 1 additional mana, which is nice, bringing it up to 6. And we will pick a level 5 skill. I've picked Tailored Swiftness, tier 3. It's a level 5 ability. When you gain the skill, gain the tokens orange dice, which is a red token, a blue to movement, and a green, and then it says you may remove 1 other token. We might sub out one of the shadow powers and we'll add the orange to it, so that way we've got some orange dice. And then we will put everything back into the bag and we'll get ready to start a new turn. Now, Mist brings into the dungeon with them the door card, the whetstone room, which they still have to add an orange dice to an attack. They have the serrated dagger in one hand. They have the throwing axes in the other hand. They are wearing a demonic mask. They have a cuirass, an armored chestplate, which is really nice. Spiked boots, which is really cool. The heavy gauntlets, and we've used one of our Lightbringer tokens. The skills we have are Tier 2 Shadow Form, level 3 skill, which is a shadow attack for 2 extra damage. And then we have Tailored Swiftness 3. Mist skills are when performing a move action with the blue token, you don't take reaction damage, which will be really nice to run through the Reaper. We also have some Shadow Mode skills. Activate to get 2 swords for each action you have taken this turn. Mist stands in the Reaper's domain. The Reaper says,
So, you have come to bargain for the life of your Lightbringers.
he gestures with one of his tentacles to each of the hourglasses in the corner of the map.
Their soul and their time is run out.
Mist looks to the hourglasses.
We can draw blades, or you can release my friends.
The Reaper stands back, readies their scythe. Mist says,
So be it. Death comes for us all. All we can do is smile back.
so Mist's goal is to defeat the Reaper, but also keep the Sands of Time going in order to keep the souls of the lost Lightbringers alive, because time is running out.
The hour has come.
So we'll draw 4 tokens from the bag to start our turn. Alright, movement points and green actions, which is nice. We have our 4 actions. Movement will get us to the points, which is really nice, and we can draw each token, and then maybe we do a shadow mode attack on the Reaper. There's 5 light zones and 4 shadow zones. Shadow, 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 shadow. So I'm going to use a blue token for 1 additional move point for a move action. So I'm going to take a move action and go 1, 2, 3 to this hourglass down here. I will use this green token, draw 1 token after this action is done, to refill the hourglass. I will refill the hourglass with a 3rd token.
We are all connected.
Then I get to draw another token from the bag, which is another green, which is great. I will use this green one to take a normal movement action, give me 2 movement, 1, 2, and then I get to draw a token after that green, which provides me a shadow, another shadow. I will perform a movement action with this blue token to move 3 spaces, 1, 2 into the Reaper's space.
Beware the shadow.
And then I think I'll hit him for some damage with these last 2. Alright, let's go big to start off with. We're in the central zone, and we're going to attack the Reaper. We're going to use this shadow skill that turns my zone into a shadow zone. So Mist's body spreads out and envelops the Reaper in this ethereal darkness.
No!
So he's going to attack, so we're going to get a shadow dice because we're in the shadow. We're going to get a yellow dice for the throwing axes. We're going to get a yellow dice for the serrated dagger. I'm going to use this whetstone room card to get an orange dice. Alright, let's build the Reaper's defense pool. 4 blue, 3 black. It's got a combat bonus. So here we go. Attacking the Reaper with a shadow action. Into the tray. Alright, we're going to use the Lightbringer token to re-roll this dice here into a scratch. We are going to use the Demonic Mask to take 1 wound to ignore a black dice. And we'll remove this claw and scratch, which takes away their combat bonus.
No!
We will use the Heavy Gauntlets mana to get 2 swords. We will use the Shadow Form mana to get another 2 swords. Then we will use the Serrated Dagger to take away 1 shield. We'll use 1 mana during combat for the Spiked Boots to deal 1 damage to the Reaper. So he just stands down on the tentacle of the Reaper and then sticks his blade into it. And then from there, we will cash in this purple dice, which has 2 mana on it for 2 mana back, which is nice. And then we'll calculate our damage. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 into 2. That's 5, so we're going to take out 5. Leaving the Reaper on 44. And then they're going to hit me for 1 scratch icon. Then we'll go into our second attack. Last action, so we will flip the shadow token, turning my zone into a shadow zone. So I get 1 shadow dice. I'm going to get 1 yellow from the serrated dagger, 1 yellow from the throwing axe, but it says if you've already performed an attack this turn, plus 1 yellow. So another yellow dice. Reaper's defense dice, which is 4 blue, 3 black. Alright, we have the serrated dagger. I will remove 1 with the serrated dagger. We got more of these claws, but I'm not out of mana yet, so I don't want to do that. So I'll re-roll the slash and claw from the Reaper into a claw. So 3 claws. The combat bonus for the Reaper is 2 claws. If the defender has no mana, they take 1 frost. So I want to try and stay away from that. I will use 1 mana for the heavy gauntlets to add 2. I will use another mana for the Shadow Form 2 skill to get another 2. Then I will use another mana for combat, the spiked boots, to deal 1 wound to the Reaper to 43. Then we will cash in the 2 mana that we have from the yellow dice. And we will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 into 2, 7 damage. So we've got 1, 2, 3 away from there, and then we have 4, which will turn this to a 6. There we have 36 of their 50, and that is my final action there. With that, Mist jumps into the space, turns the area into darkness, and then with a ferocity and a speed, slices at the tentacles, uses the spiked boots to stamp down on one of the tentacles and then slice one off. Just as he slices one off, it reforms with some black ichor and smoke and reforms as the Reaper repositions himself. Swings at him with the scythe, but he's too fast. Alright, and with the hero's turn over, I'll discard the tokens. Alright, it's over to the enemy phase. So we'll look at the Reaper's dashboard. It has 1 action, which means it will roll 2 of these black dice, and we'll figure out what it does from there.
You can never hide.
Alright, 1 claw.
Time is ticking.
Place the Reaper in the hourglass with the least time tokens and remove 1 from the hourglass with the most.
Souls beckon.
So teleports to the one with the least, which is over to the top corner here, and then raises his hand out and sucks the time from that hourglass.
Soul taken.
That is the end of the enemy phase. We'll move the darkness tracker for the Reaper up 1, so now it gets 2 actions per turn.
More souls.
Now we go over to Mist's turn. We'll draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like we got a lot of attacks this turn. Alright, we have 5 of 7 health. Maybe I'll go through the fountain. Alright, we will use the blue token to get 4 movement points. And we will move 1, 2, then pick up the fountain to heal 3, 2, 3, which will just take me to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is good. So we're here, 1, 2, pick up, 3, 4, jumps into the Reaper's space.
Stare into the abyss.
Alright, and then we will attack. We'll attack with this yellow dice, 1 to get 1 yellow dice, 1 from the throwing axes, 1 from the token, 1 yellow from the serrated dagger, 4 blue, 3 black, no shadow dice, So we're just going to hit this guy for as much as we can. All right, we have a good amount on those dice. These two blues don't do anything. We've got a serrated dagger to remove that. We have 2 claws. We'll use our black reroll with the Lightbringer token to there to get a blank. Fantastic. And then we will calculate some damage. We'll spend 1 mana to get 2 swords for the heavy gauntlets. Then we'll use another mana for the spiked boots to do 1 wound. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage into 2 defense. So 5's coming through. So 5, taking the Reaper down to 30. And then 1 scratch comes through to Mist. The battle is relentless. Slashing vigorously at Mist, but Mist dodging out of the way, and lots of different slices to the Reaper. Death by 1,000 cuts. Then we have third action, will be an attack with an orange die. So orange, yellow with the throwing axes, yellow with the serrated dagger. Throwing axes have the bonus, if you've already performed an attack this turn, gain another yellow. Then we have 4 blue and 3 black. Before we roll, we're going to drink this greater mana potion. Glug, 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 glug. You get 3 mana back. So we're on 5, and then we will attack. All right, we have serrated dagger, removes 1 shield. We will use the this blank. We'll use the Lightbringer token to reroll the scratch and claw into a claw. So we have. We'll use 1 mana to get 2 swords from the heavy gauntlets. We'll use another mana to do 1 wound to the Reaper with the spiked boots. So 10 goes to 9. So on 29 health, we'll take 1 damage from the scratch. The claw doesn't do anything. And then we have 3 defense into our 7 attack. So 3 defense will take out these dice. Then we have 4 going through. Release them and we can end this quickly. And then we'll have our last action on the tokens here, which will be an orange. So we'll do the same again. Orange, yellow for the throwing axes. If you've already performed an attack this turn, yellow again. Serrated dagger for another yellow. Then 4 blue, 3 black. All right, we have, that's pretty good. We will use the Lightbringer token to reroll this scratch into a blank. Fantastic. This claw doesn't do anything. Serrated dagger to remove 1 shield. We'll use 1 mana to get 2 damage from the heavy gauntlets. We'll use another mana for the spiked boots to do 1 wound to the Reaper. It's on 24 of 50. He's looking bloodied.
This can't happen to me.
For damage, we have 2 swords to remove these dice here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage and 2 mana gain. So I'll gain the 2 mana off these dice. And then 6 damage through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 18 health left for the Reaper. And then I'm out of actions, but I'll use the stamina potion. Drink it now to revitalize the time chamber by ducking around and adding 1 time token to the space. So there's 3 on this space now.
I stop you.
And then we'll move over to the enemies phase. All right, we have the enemies phase now. So the Reaper will go. The Reaper now has 2 actions from Dark Rage. The Reaper has X actions for each activation. Has 2 here, so we're gonna do this action twice. So the first time, we have 1 claw.
Time is ticking.
Place the Reaper in the hourglass with the least So he teleports out of the space, lands into the one with the least, which is over here, and removes 1 hourglass from the most.
You are running out of time. And I am running out of patience.
All right, and then he's going to do his second action. 2 blanks.
Your soul is mine.
0 results on the dice. Place the Reaper in the zone with the hero with the least amount of mana and attack that hero. So he teleports back, and then he is attacking. His attack pool is 1 yellow, 2 orange, and 3 black. Mist's defense is 3 blue. All right, here we go. All right. We have 2 combat claws there, which will do if the defender has no mana, they take 1 frost. So that's not going to trigger, which is fine. So I don't need a black reroll. So I'll remove those dice there, but I'll keep them there just in case I run out of mana, and I don't think I can. I'm going to use 1 mana to do the spiked boots, to do 1 wound to the Reaper out of combat. And the Reaper does 2 swords to my 2 defense. Blocked. The second action was to fight. All right, that's the enemy's phase done. Then we're going to move the darkness tracker across. Staying on 2 actions. Then it's over to the hero's turn. We might be able to finish him off. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's cool. Any tokens left? Oh, there's 1 token left in the bag. We have 2 rerolls, a red shadow token, a blue movement token, and a draw another token. I'll use this green token to draw 1 token after this action, to place another time token on this spot, and then after that green one resolves, I get another token, which is another movement point, which is nice. We will use this red reroll token to attack the Reaper. We've got 1 yellow from the throwing axes, 1 yellow from the serrated dagger. Then we have 4 blue and 3 black for the Reaper. This is not a very heavy attack coming up, but I get 2 rerolls, which will be helpful. All right. Oh, double swords. That's great. So the serrated dagger removes 1. I've got 2 rerolls from this red token. I'll reroll this blue into 1, which is nice. And I'll do the second. I'll do one of the black rerolls on this dice here into a blank. And then that was a black reroll from the Lightbringer. Then we will do another reroll with the last red reroll on this blue dice, hoping for a blank. 1. All right. I think I'll save my mana and not use it for the heavy gauntlets or the spiked boots, because I'll run out and he might get a bonus on me. So we have 4 damage into 1 shield, so 3 comes through. And we have 14 health for the Reaper. We'll use this blue action for a movement point to revitalize the time chamber here. So now there are 4 tokens on this spot.
Order from chaos.
Then I will use this red shadow token for attack from the shadows, which means I'll get a shadow dice. It turns the light zone into shadow. I get 1 yellow from the throwing axes. If you've already performed an attack this turn, gain another yellow. Good. And then serrated dagger, yellow. I think I'll save my mana for this attack. 4 blue and 3 black for the Reaper. All right. Oof. That's pretty intense. All right. We will remove 1 shield with the serrated dagger. We will reroll this dice with the Lightbringer token into a blank. Fantastic. So 2 combat claws at the moment. which might activate his. So I'm going to use the demonic mask, attack, take 1 wound to ignore 1 black dice. I'll take 1 wound, and I'll ignore this black dice, so there's only 1 combat claw there. And that's not going to do anything, so I'll remove that. I'm going to spend 1 mana to get 2 swords from the heavy gauntlets. Then I will use another mana with the Shadow Form 2 skill to get another 2. I will cash in mana off this dice and cash in mana off this dice. So there we have it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage into 3. 6 goes through, taking him down to 8 health.
What is this? No!
Taking him down to 8 health, violently striking from the darkness. The Reaper doesn't know what's coming.
You should have bargained.
And then we will use the last action, this blue token, to get 2 extra movement points. To move 1, 2, and then the 2 extra from the blue token. 1, 2, and I don't take any reaction damage from the Reaper, because when performing a move action with a blue token, you do not take reaction damage. So I'll run to the other zone to help replenish that, and then it's over to the enemy's phase. He has 2 actions, so he's going to do 2 actions with these 2 dice. First action, we have 1 claw.
Time is ticking.
Time is ticking. Place the Reaper in the hourglass zone with the least and remove 1 from the most. So he boosts over to this zone here and removes 1 with the most.
I will stronger.
All right, and then he's moved, and then his second action. We have time is ticking. So place the Reaper in the hourglass with the least and then remove it from the most. So he saps another from this zone over there.
These souls belong to me. Time is ticking. You may have bested me in combat, but I don't need to beat you. You just need to beat time.
And those are his 2 actions to drain the time zones. The hourglasses both have 2 time tokens left on them. That's the end of his action. The darkness phase goes up to another 2. And then we'll do the thieves token bag. So we might be able to kill him this round. So let's draw 4.
Your journey ends.
4. Oh, it looks like we've got a lot of greens, which is nice. A lot of movement. So the first action will be a green to replenish a time token. After I've done that, I get to draw another token from the bag, which is a yellow damage. Then we will green to take a recover action to recover 1 mana, and then I'll recover 1 health. And then after that green token is done, I get to draw another one from the bag. Let's hoping for some orange or some shadows. 1 movement point. All right. We will then just use this red token with the yellow dice to attack. So 1 yellow with the throwing axes, 1 yellow with the serrated dagger, 1 yellow with the red token. Then we have 4 blue and 3 black into the Reaper. Oh, nice. All right. We will... These 2 blacks don't mean anything. This 1 combat claw doesn't mean anything. We've got 2 blues. We will remove 1 shield with the serrated dagger, leaving it with 3. We will pay 1 mana to pump up the heavy gauntlets. We will pay another mana to do 1 wound to the Reaper with the spiked boots. And then we will use these 2 yellow dice with the mana to gain them back. 1, 2. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 3. 2 go through, leaving him on 5 health.
You are running out of time. And you are running out of courage. Is that fear I sense in you? Fear of somebody who is not afraid of you? Release my friends, and I will ease your passing.
We have some more actions. We will do a movement action to move 1, 2, 3 to go over to there. Then we will use another movement point token to get to the other hourglass, and then we'll use our last blue to add some time to the hourglass.
From void and shadow, I assemble.
That's Mist's turn. Mist runs over to the hourglass, puts his hand to it, and tries to replenish it. But he starts to notice his energy is replenishing the hourglasses. All this time while he's been fighting, some of his essence has been feeding into the hourglasses, hopefully to sustain the souls of the Lightbringers inside. It is now the enemy's turn. The Reaper has 2 actions, so the Reaper will do their first action. 2 claws.
Death is coming.
Place the Reaper in the central zone. Roll 1 yellow dice. Remove time tokens equal to the swords rolled from both hourglasses. Each hero discards mana equal to the swords rolled. So he moves to the central zone. He raises his hands up, draws his energy from both hourglasses, and removes 1 from each. A hero loses 1 mana for each sword roll. Then we have his second action. It is 1 claw.
Time is ticking.
Place the Reaper in the hourglass zone with the least amount of time tokens and remove 1 with the most. So they're both equal, they're both at 2. Player's choice. So it will be away from the hero. And then remove 1 from here.
You are running out of time, Lightbringer. You cannot stop the inevitable.
The top hourglass is on 1, the bottom hourglass is on 2. And we will move the darkness track to the final column, which is 3. So I think we've got to get rid of him this turn. So we're going to draw 4 tokens for Mist's turn. Because I used a lot of movement, I think it's going to be attack turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we have shadow, shadow, orange dice, movement points. So Mist puts his hand on the hourglass.
I know what I have to do, friends. You will be safe.
And there's a flash of light around Mist. And he uses this blue token for 2+ movement points for a move action to get 4 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moves into the space.
Haste.
Mist will use a shadow token to roll a shadow dice, a yellow dice with the throwing axes, a yellow dice with the serrated dagger, 4 blue for the Reaper, 3 black for the Reaper. Oof. I'll use the Lightbringer reroll token for this black dice here into a blank. Fantastic. This other blank doesn't do anything, and then this claw won't do anything by itself. So then we have 1 shield remove for the serrated dagger. We've got 1 shield remaining, and we have 3 mana there. So we will use 1 mana to get 2 attack from the heavy gauntlet. We will use the other mana to grab 2 attack from the shadow form mode 2.
I bend the light itself.
Then we will gain a mana on this purple dice, and then we will spend a mana to use the spiked boots to hit the Reaper for 1, taking him down to 4. So he runs in with a flying kick, and then we will calculate the damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 into 1 shield, that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last health is lost from the Reaper as Mist runs in,
Your journey ends.
coalesces himself into a ball, and then strikes straight through into the Reaper and explodes with dark and radiant energy at the same time. The Reaper is overcome by radiant light. Runs back.
You haven't bested me. I will return.
And he sinks into the floor. And there is an explosion of dark energy. The hourglasses crack. And their soul energy is released. And reforms in the center, silhouetted in blue light, as two fallen Lightbringers return. The paladin, Sironin,
Faith is purest when it is unquestioning.
and the wizard, Elias, who have both fallen to the darkness.
We are incorporeal. We are not ourselves.
Sironin understands this and looks at themselves and realizes,
Only if our forms were whole, we could return. We need more energy. We need more soul life.
Mist then looks to his hands. His soul energy was helping them recover. If a little bit more can be released, maybe they can get their forms back. So he steps forward,
Take my hands.
offers his hands to Sironin and Elias,
I am at peace.
and Mist closes their eyes and disappears.
I achieve final harmony.
The energy absorbs into Elias and Sironin. Their blue, incorporeal forms start to coalesce and become with form. They exist again.
He has done it. He has granted us back our life. We must get back to the material plane.
And with that, Elias conjures a portal.
This should get us home.
And they have returned to the material plane. They will not forget Mist's sacrifice. Thanks for watching The Soul Keys.